Jackson, a wealthy investor, coming at you with what I hope is another hot educational video that will really help take your trading to the next level. And even if you know nothing about the stock market, the idea is that you get involved and you get started. All right? It's one of the best things that you can do for your life and actually start wealth building. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how to get started investing in stocks with $600 or less. You know, there's this myth that you have to be super, super wealthy to actually participate in the stock market. And most people don't know, if you have $600, you're in the game. You're in the game that the wealthiest people in the world play. So what I teach people at the Wealthy Investor Program is really how to start this wealth building process. Even if you think you don't have a lot of money, you'll be surprised at what you can achieve. And the reason I'm so passionate about this message is because I was raised by a single mother. Now, let me talk to you, because I always ask when I'm speaking in front of a large group that we give a round of applause for single mothers, right? Because it's a very, very hard job. And today I actually have wealth. I'm actually the wealthiest one in my family because I got something called a financial education. So if you were to visit thewealthyinvestor.net, obviously you can find out more about my story and my background and why it is that I do what I do by clicking on the Tyrone page. And I've had the privilege of helping a lot of people in Hollywood and the entertainment business, as well as people who are not associated with the entertainment business, learn how to take control of their financial life. I believe that you should do the same because it's really not that hard. The problem is no one has ever come into your life, the right teacher has never come into your life and explained to you how the stock market works and how you can benefit from it. So let's see if we can break down some of these barriers and these beliefs about it all being so difficult and so complicated, because I know that if I can do it, guess what? You can do it too. Okay, so the first step, we're going to talk about 4 or 5 different steps that you would take if you wanted to get started in the stock market. Step 1 would be to open something called an online brokerage account. Now, what is that? An online brokerage account is really here we're on TD Ameritrade, for example, and that's the one that most of my students use because they have 24-hour customer service. There's always somebody here to help you. An online brokerage account is basically just like a checking account. In fact, when you open that account, you're going to get checks, a debit card, a username, and a password, which you'll see right over here, right? And the only difference is you'll have access to Wall Street. You'll be able to buy shares of stocks and watch as an investor as they appreciate in value. You could also go to another place which is very good for beginners, Charles Schwab, right? Now, Charles Schwab doesn't know exactly whether it wants to be a discount brokerage house that caters to people who handle their own money or full service, right? So their website is constantly changing. But here they have a whole section on trading and investing, and it costs you nothing to open a brokerage account. It's just that you fund it. If you don't like Charles Schwab, you could easily go to a place like Fidelity. Right? Now, one of the things that you'll see the 800 number over here, right? Before you even open the account, which you can do online, again, totally free. One of the things that you can do is call a consultant and say, I'm thinking about opening an online trading account, getting involved in the stock market. How much are the commissions, right? How much does it cost me at, let's say, TD Ameritrade, right? How much does it cost me at Charles Schwab? And how much is it going to cost me at Fidelity to actually buy and sell stocks? Now, normally it's around $9.95 to buy some shares and $9.95 to sell them. So you see, the world of online has really changed access to Wall Street. Okay, and the internet has really changed access, and that's why I love Al Gore for having invented it. All right, I always say that when I'm speaking live, so I figured I'd throw that in there. So basically, just to recap, to go to TD Ameritrade online, Charles Schwab, right, and Fidelity, you can basically open an account there for free. You get a username and password. You'd simply log in. You can call the 800 number if you ever get stuck during the process, right? And then what happens? They're going to ask you to fund your account. So you're going to take $600 from, let's say, your checking account, transfer it into your Fidelity or Schwab account. Now, once you're in there, the first thing you want to do with your $600 is you want to buy a stock of one of two things. That's either an established Dow component or a company that you're familiar with. Now, this first $600 can be just like an investment to see what happens when you buy stocks. So a Dow component would be something like McDonald's, which I'll cover. And if you don't know what the Dow is, watch one of my other videos on YouTube, and we'll talk a little bit about what the Dow 30 is. But here, if I were going to start with a company I know called eBay. Now, the first thing we do is I can't get into how to choose stocks based on revenue and top line revenue growth and 4 quarters of top line revenue growth, but I'll show you how to learn more about that in a moment. You'll notice that this is on Yahoo Finance, and all stock market research can be done online for free. You see, this is a 5-year chart of eBay, and we have a saying in a Wealthy Investor program, we don't marry stocks, we only date them. Right? Because the whole idea is I don't want you to be intimidated by the stock. Every stock has its own ticker symbol. eBay's ticker symbol happens to be eBay, right? And what this page is telling us on Yahoo Finance is that the day's range, today's trading range, the stock was as low as $53.40 and as high as $54.66. Its 52-week range, it was as low as $48.06 and as high as $59.70. You see that down here. These are some of the basics of what you need to know, but you're going to invest, which means you're going to hold the stock for a while and just see how it does with your $600. Now, people think you need millions and millions and millions of dollars. If I put $600 in the account at Schwab, Fidelity, or TD Ameritrade, can I buy one share of eBay for $54.54? Yes. Just one share. Can I buy 2? That's over $100 investment. Can I buy 3 shares? Yes. Let's assume you bought 4 shares, just a little over $200 in eBay. All you're going to do when you log into your account back here at TD Ameritrade is it's going to show you what those shares are worth today, right? So you can download apps and put them on your phone. But if I know if I paid $54.54 for shares of eBay, what do I want them to do? I want them to rise. All right. But imagine if you bought 100 shares less than 5 years ago at, let's say, around $20. So 100 times 20, that's $2,000. What would they be worth today? They'd be worth over $5,400. Why? Because eBay, now here's the fancy Wall Street terms, don't get intimidated by this. eBay has substantial top-line revenue growth. That basically means that the company keeps making more and more and more money. And we anticipate that revenue growth to rise. Why? Because eBay doesn't make most of its money off of eBay anymore. It's mostly off of PayPal, which charges you fees per transaction. We'll get into that a little bit later on. That's called knowing the story of the stock. This can't be so hard to open up a brokerage account, buy 4 shares of eBay, and watch the value of your shares either rise or fall. If you didn't want to start with a company like eBay, then you could simply start with an established Dow component like McDonald's, a company that's been around for years and years and years. Now look at this picture of the stock. Notice how over time the shares have a tendency to rise. McDonald's happens to be one of those companies that has strong top line annual revenue growth. And if we go down here, we also see that it pays a dividend. Now, what is a dividend? A dividend is your share of the company's profits delivered to your online brokerage account every 13 weeks. You see, Wall Street is open to everyone. Look at this. The day's range, $99.82 was its low. It's been as high as $101.76. 52 weeks ago, you could have bought shares for $92.22. They've been as high as $103. Now, McDonald's, simply because I own it, has been stuck in a trading range for a while. And I noticed today it crossed $101.50, which is fine because I'm in it for the long term. What's the big deal? By the way, I'm not recommending you run right out and you buy these stocks. I'm just trying to show you that you can get started investing, not trading, buying and selling stocks, but investing for as little as $600. Now, you'll notice that just one share of McDonald's is $101.50. So of that $600, remember we bought $200 worth of eBay, can we buy $200 or $300 worth of McDonald's just to get in the game? Yes. Now, something very interesting is going to happen when you start to own these shares. You're going to want to know more about the stocks and what makes them rise. And I'll be happy to take you down that path and acquaint you with that so that you can start creating wealth. But let's say less than 5 years ago, you bought your shares not at the bottom here, but at $60 a share. and you bought 100 shares, that would be a $6,000 investment. Today, that investment would be worth over $10,000 because you take 101.50 times 100, and you have over $10,000. Now, there is an approach that I teach at the Wealthy Investor Program, which is called building a position, where we buy shares down here, and every time the stock moves up a certain increment, we call that a buy signal, and we buy more shares. So we could have taken that $6,000 and made it worth a lot more money with a wealth building approach. Now, let me say one other thing about wealth building here is that you don't have to hold on to these shares forever. You can hold on to them till they go up $25, $50. You can sell those shares, keep the profits, and buy yourself something. Or you can buy more shares and build wealth. It's totally up to you. So just to review, it can't be that hard to open an online brokerage account with just $600, right? Here's TD Ameritrade. Here's Charles Schwab. Here's Fidelity. You're going to ask about the fees by calling this 800 number. How much is it going to cost me, right? Now, what you'll find out, which I didn't mention to you, is they're going to offer you a series of free trades at each one of these companies. Why? They want you to get in the habit of trading. See, that's how they make their money. But they also don't mind if you invest. So they're going to tell you the fees here, let's say hypothetically, are $9.95, but you'll get 200 trades free. These always change. You can also open up a retirement account here. Can we hold stocks in our retirement account? Of course we can. Finally, we're going to buy a company like eBay. It's something that we know about, and we're going to maybe buy 1, 2, 3, 4 shares just to see how they do over time. Again, if you had held them for the past 5 years, you'd be very happy now. Or we can buy shares in an established Dow component, something like McDonald's, which is a less risky company because it's part of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and we can hold on to those. So you tend to really get to know these stories in these stocks once you own them, and you become a better investor. So how do your final step, which is now you want to educate yourself about not only investing, right, holding on to some shares, but also how do you trade? So where do you learn? Well, they say if you want something done right, you do it yourself. If you go to this website, and I'm going to put this link down here at the bottom, this is called wealthyinvestorebook.com. Now, as it turns out, I actually wrote a book on how to trade and invest. It's very simple. It's an ebook. All you have to do is enter your name and email address at wealthyinvestorebook.com, and you can totally free, 100% free, download this ebook and get to know some of the basics of how to invest. And the 3 strategies that we work on is volatility trading, meaning buying a stock and quickly selling it, investing those profits, and another strategy called covered call writing. Okay? So here's your opportunity right now to get in on the stock market game for what? Absolutely 100% free. Just enter your your name and your email address, and you'll be able to download that ebook instantly. I must be pretty good because I've been written up in some really wonderful places, as you can see here. And then I'm very blessed and very fortunate that some of my students were kind enough to put in a testimonial there about what they learned. And most of them knew nothing about investing in stocks before they joined the Wealthy Investor Program. So you see, there really are no blocks to your success, because right now you have the opportunity to learn how to trade and invest for what? Absolutely free by going to the wealthyinvestorebook.com and downloading your free version of my ebook so you learn exactly how to trade and invest. I hope this brief video has perhaps inspired you, but most importantly informed you, because I always say your wealth is in your thinking. Your financial success is all about your mindset. And if you can get something for free that teaches you in simple language how the game is played on Wall Street, and you have $600, you can be in the game and being successful before you know it. So thank you for spending this time with me, and I hope you take these positive actions to change your life.